so joining me right now is the queen of Be Polite Properties, CoPrenuers, also a Superhost, AirBnb Superhost, real estate investor, real estate mentor, Krystal Polite. How are you, sis?
Hi, I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. So good to see you. We haven't been together since we were in DC for the Earn Your Leisure event.
I know, man, that seems like so long ago.
It does. It does. All right. So you are here for the one question interview. And the one question is, what is the best piece of advice that you would give to a woman who is interested in getting started or growing as a real estate professional? Go.
So, being able to solve problems on a consistent basis is probably the best thing about being in real estate investing in general, which I think we can all agree on. Guys are all about the numbers, right? But when it comes to being a woman, I feel like the compassion and the emotional intelligence, really the compassion and the emotional intelligence that investing traditionally lacks is what makes us such a powerhouse in this business and in this industry. We listen for what's not being said, more so than what's being said. For example, just to give you a quick example, my husband, I typically don't go on seller appointments. One of the times that I did, I went with my husband. It's super hot market. Sat down, spoke to a seller, probably in their 70s, 80s. He heard her talking, came back to me, and he was like, "Hey, listen, locked it up, locked the deal up." And I said, "Hey, yeah. So she's 70." He was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." I said, "Okay, just her kid. Her oldest kid lived in Vegas at that time, nowhere near. We're in North Carolina." And I said, "Okay, well, she is an owner occupied." I said, "Listen, she's gonna have a hard time moving." He was like, "Well, yeah." I said, "Call her back and tell her we're gonna have movers help her pack." And he was like, "Oh man, yeah, 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 you're right." I said, "Well, where is she moving to?" He was like, "Oh, well, she's moving to live with a boyfriend." I said, "Okay, well, she's been in this house 50 years. I said, and she's accumulated a lot of stuff. Do you think this is going to fit in an apartment?" He was like, "No." I said, "Okay, so let her know to help her out. We will pay for 6 months storage as well." And he was like, "Oh, shoot. Yeah, 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 you're right." Called her back, let her know these things. She started crying on the phone immediately. It was like, "Oh my God, all I thought about was how am I going to get all of this done? Where am I going to put it?" She was like, "I don't know if you were just reading my mind or what." She was like, "I mean, I was happy because I'm like, man, I finally get to, move on with my life." She said, "But this was my worry." And he literally called her right back. And I told him, I said, he was like, "Man, it's just that emotional intelligence that comes with it that women are natural with having." So my mother always told me growing up, you are not here to prove yourself. You are here to be yourself. And I always try to tell young women that, especially who is in this industry, because they always feel like as women, we have to prove ourselves to men, sometimes other women in this industry. And I have always lived hearing my mother's voice. So I've just learned as a woman in business, I will inspire some. I'm going to annoy others, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I tell every woman, just keep that in mind. You're not here to prove yourself. Just be yourself. Keep being who you are, no matter who that is. Like I said, you're going to inspire a lot of women. And you're going to annoy a lot of people as well. But just do it anyway. Don't set limits and don't run anyone else's race. Run your own race at your own pace. 2 simple rules that I live by: I don't hate on nobody and I don't wait on nobody.
I know that's right. I love it. Krystal, that was an amazing, amazing answer. I just know that that's going to bless so many people. We have to use our emotional intelligence. And I'm not going to just slide over the fact that this woman was in her 70s, finding her boyfriend, moving with her boyfriend. I just had to note that. That's awesome. I love that story. So good. Thank you so much for joining me, Krystal. When I decided to do this, I know I had to interview you. There's so much wisdom in what you just said. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. Thank you for having me, sis. I really appreciate you.
My pleasure.